and welcome to this week's video update. This week was Floral Week, which I think a lot of you enjoyed because there was a lot of activity on the blog and on Facebook this week. Again, it was one of those giant topics that I sort of tried to tackle in just a few short posts, so I'm sure that's something that we're going to be seeing again. There were a couple weddings that I really wanted to grab and say, you know, this wedding had great floral and this wedding had great floral, and then when I was starting to collect them, I realized that I didn't really want to not pick somebody and say, oh, obviously because I didn't pick you, your wedding didn't have great floral. And plus, a lot of the weddings that I was picking, they tended to have the same kinds of flowers because that's really what, like, they reflected the kind of flowers that I would have wanted for our wedding if we had been willing to spend any more on them than we actually did. So in the end, it was mostly just general floral sharing. So don't feel offended if your bouquet didn't get spotlighted or if I overlooked your wedding somehow. It's just one of those things. I have gotten complaints before where people have said you obviously have favorites because you keep posting the same people over and over again and you never post new weddings / my wedding. And I think that that's, in a way that's fair, but probably not for the reasons that the people that emailed me thought that they were. It's not so much that I have like favorite weddings and I only want to showcase those, although a lot of those weddings that I keep showcasing over and over again are from people that I feel like I've known a long time now. So in a way they have a special place for me. But it's more just that, like, when I think about things that I think you guys would find inspiring or things that inspired me, I tend to think about people who were showing their weddings off when I was doing my wedding planning, or who was showing their weddings off right when I was showing my wedding off, just because I think because of the timing, those weddings kind of hit a chord and they stuck with me. So that's part of the reason that I do tend to use some of the same weddings over and over and over again. But I mean, I like them. And to be honest, I wouldn't want somebody to not see things that I thought were beautiful just because I might have used another image from that wedding earlier. So, yeah, so hopefully you guys don't mind seeing a few familiar faces. I am trying really hard to keep on top of the new weddings and things like that, though. So I'm going to be mixing more fresh faces in as we go along. We're coming up to the end of May, which is complete insanity. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the blog this summer. I've got some sort of larger things planned. Ads, for example, the ads and more stuff that has to do with me working with vendors, that's going to be happening in June, so look for that. As far as larger things, I am kind of thinking about organizing some larger blog events. Next week is going to be another themed week, and I have a special announcement to make next week. Nothing baby related for those of you who are still waiting anxiously for news on that front, but yeah, something else fun and equally exciting that I will talk about next week. And I will give you kind of a preview about it, though. I got this book not that long ago. I like to collect books on going to Disney parks and Disney-type books. It's obviously not a shocker, but Kyle and I actually both are really into getting different books on the Disney parks and on the Disney movies, even though you'd think that after a while it would be all the same information, because we just like seeing different people's opinions and the way that they organize it. And even the old ones, like travel guides from the 80s and things like that, it's interesting in a historical sense. And that's something that we agree on as far as things that we like to collect that don't take up too much space. So whenever we see one that we haven't read before, we pick it up. And this is one that I got fairly recently. It is the Healthy Guide to Walt Disney World 2009. And I was really excited about it initially, just because it's such a good idea as far as like a new take on Walt Disney World travel guides. And I've read it, and I have to say there was some good stuff in it, and there was a lot of stuff that I didn't necessarily know. Most of it had to do with menus, where to find fresh vegetables and things like that. But I would admit that maybe a third of it, almost a half, but I'd say about a third, was just stuff that I feel like this is meant for people who are really, really, really healthy when they're not at Walt Disney World. And so for those of you who need to know, like if you wanted to do a 9-mile run, where the best 9-mile run is to do, and how to do cross training if you're staying at this resort or that resort, or you know, how to stay properly hydrated while running the back trails of this and things like that. I go down to Walt Disney World and I try to eat fairly well just because I want to feel good while I'm there. But I walk a lot because I'm in the parks. I mean, if you go into the parks at 9 o'clock in the morning and you don't get out until 10 o'clock at night, you will walk a lot. And so, am I going to take this down there so that I know where to find my 9-mile morning run? No. And I'm somebody who actually runs, surprisingly. So I'm just not quite elite enough to, I think, be the target audience for this book. But it was really interesting. There's lots of great stuff if you're diabetic and where to find food. If you're really interested in things like where can I get tennis lessons at Walt Disney World, they have them. So if you're really into, I don't know, maybe skipping a day in the parks to do some sort of athletic activity, then you are the audience for this book and you should pick it up. And no, I'm sorry, I will not be giving away a copy of this book, which I wish I could say I will be giving away a copy of this book, but I am trying to contact them to see if I can give away a copy of this book, and I have not been successful as of yet. If I am successful, I will definitely let you guys know. But in the meantime, that gives you a hint as to what next week's theme is going to be, and yeah, stay tuned for that special announcement. All right, well, that wraps it up for me for this week. I'm having a little bit of trouble with YouTube and sharing music and doing all of that. I can understand why they wouldn't want people to just take music that doesn't belong to them and make videos with it. Doesn't stop me from being annoyed when they delete my videos. But so I am going to share a song this week that is not actually the song that I had originally picked. So on the off chance that I finish this video and edit it and then it doesn't work, I'm not even going to tell you what the song is. You're going to have to look for it in the blog post. I will try to share a snippet of it here, but if you want to know what the song for the week is, check out the post today. Or, well, I mean, it's tomorrow for me because it's Thursday, but you'll see this on Friday. So actually, if you're watching this video on the blog, just go down to the bottom, and then you'll see the song of the week. So anyway, yeah, have a good week, and I will talk to you next Friday.
Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, ce que ça me fait quelque chose.